So thank you for having this.
No, thank you for picking us.
So what we are doing is we like the small Hutong businesses, and especially for me, I live very close. Our office is also very close.
Yeah.
It's close to Lama Temple. So I think that these small businesses are very much the representation, or maybe your dream, or someone that puts their passion into what they're doing. And I think that's very fascinating and interesting for other people to hear, actually. So what we would like to hear is about you, like who you are, what's your background, what did you do before, is this what you always wanted to do, or maybe you can start by telling us about who you are.
Okay. So my name is Sophie, and I'm from Shanghai. This year I'm 29 years old.
Okay, very young.
Yeah, and I studied finance and accounting.
Okay.
So that's my background, and I studied in Shanghai, and then in London, in UK for 6 years. And then I moved back to Shanghai, and 3 years ago I moved to Beijing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Beijing, actually?
I got a better job offer from ByteDance.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you were working for ByteDance.
So yeah, I was in Shanghai. I was an equity analyst, and then I got a better job offer from ByteDance as a strategist. So
Wow.
that's my motive to move to Beijing in the first place. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So as soon as I landed in Beijing, I noticed that this city doesn't have a lot of like interesting or cozy restaurants or bars. Like the number of such bars or restaurants are much fewer than the ones in Shanghai.
That's true. That's very
Yeah.
true, actually.
So it triggered me as a nice business opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also I stayed in Haidian district in the beginning, but I always visit the Hutong area during even weekday nights. I will go to the Hutong and have a drink with my favorite bartender. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that was in Baojian.
Okay.
So Baojian was this hidden speakeasy bar behind Furongji. Also the hotel known by
Right.
the Orchid.
The Orchid, yeah.
Yeah, quite famous.
Yeah.
And I love to visit speakeasy bars in Shanghai. And I also enjoy walking on the streets. Especially in Shanghai, there are so many like designer shops, like jewelry shops, or bars, restaurants.
Yeah, okay, small, right?
Yeah, smaller size, and you get to speak to the owner.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I really like the Hutong area because there are so many similar like shops, bars and restaurants here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually how I found some very interesting bars like Baojian, like Nugget, even though Nugget is closed.
Yeah.
El Nido for excellent craft beers. Furongji for Cantonese dim sums.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had this mindset of like hunting for good places.
Okay.
Yeah, even though I was working like say 10 to 10
Yeah, it's
in
tough
ByteDance.
business, right? Yeah.
But still I think in general I'm a person who enjoys life more than working in the office.
Okay, that's a good actually.
So I remember last year in June, I already spent all my like paid leaves. So sitting in the office, I was thinking about my future. That actually I don't want to work as a senior manager or director in a big company like ByteDance. And I was thinking, am I wasting my time here? Even though I get good pay, but I don't feel this job will lead me anywhere. So I then, because I spent a lot of time visiting bars and restaurants, so I built a network of like friends in F&B in Beijing. And by like talking to them, and they actually helped me come up or like finalize my idea for a wine bar.
Okay.
I still remember 3 years ago, I was asking my friend, oh, there's no good sake bar in the Hutong area. And then Ori opened.
Yeah.
And we really, really enjoyed Ori and the owner. And it occurred to me, oh, maybe a wine bar idea might work as well. Yeah. And also because I'm from Shanghai and because of my like 6 years in UK, I'm more fond of European or Mediterranean style. So I figured this is something that Beijing is lack of.
Yeah.
There's not many like,
especially this area,
Yeah.
I think, and this kind of small, maybe family style, maybe European. Yeah,
yeah.
it's true.
So that was my whole business idea.
Okay.
Like wine, specialize in wine with some European touch. I doesn't want it to be French or Italian or like any particular cuisine,
Okay.
because there will be people saying, "Oh, this is not authentic Italian.
Yeah.
This is not authentic." But but going after an authentic European food is not at all. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So what we did is I found a very talented chef.
Okay.
Even though he's from Inner Mongolia, but he has been working in Western cuisine for more than 20 years. So he has the nice combination of like North Chinese food and also like Western food. So we come up our menu with no particular cuisine. Sometimes we sell Indian curry,
Okay.
like sort of authentic home style Indian curry, because that's what I cook with my boyfriend at home.
Right.
And my chef and my customer really loved it. And sometimes you might see some Inner Mongolian touch, like Inner Mongolian pastry. And also this winter we will do a traditional lamb stew. And sometimes we do like Chinese infusion stuff, like my wonton from Shanghai.
Right. I remember
Yeah.
that actually.
Yeah. And also a pasta we did with a Cantonese like XO sauce.
Okay.
So we doesn't want it to be just Western food or just Chinese food. We want it to be a tasty fusion kind of
Okay.
a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you found a chef, right? And what about
Yeah.
the wine? Was it like something you had or you learned?
So
or?
I love wine, but I didn't learn it specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, I just love drinking wine and also cocktails, beers. But when I decided to have a wine bar, that's when I started to learn more about wine.
Okay.
Yeah, I
see.
attended courses. I did more tastings, and I visited. Every time I visit Melbourne, I go to wineries.
Okay.
Yeah, and now, like, wine is like 80% of my like dinner drink.
I see.
Yeah, I'm more of a wine girl now.
So how are you enjoying it? I mean, you had a very different job or career path. So how do the two worlds compare?
So, I definitely have more work-life balance in this bar.
Okay.
There is stress as a founder, as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
but you get this sense that you're working for yourself. So you have more motivation to get up early or to work extra hours, and you don't really get tired because of that.
Yeah.
And also I get a lot of sense of achievement or a lot of positive energy from my customers. Yeah, I've actually made a lot of new friends by running this bar.
So overall, it's
Yeah, it's a very good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you prefer this life. I would
Yeah,
say.
definitely.
Yeah.
Even though I make much less money.
I get that,
Yeah.
but somehow I like what you said that I mean, you could have had a career, right? Or I mean, you can still do actually.
Yeah, I
But
could.
it's more fulfilling on a
Yeah.
not financial, but on a personal level, right?
Yeah, it's more relaxed and like for my peers, like my friends or people at my age, it's quite a cool thing to do. Even though my parents don't approve this at all.
Why?
Because they are quite traditional. My mother is a doctor. My father used to work for government. My sister is a teacher.
Okay.
So they are actually all working for the states.
But you think maybe they're scared of like the risk that goes with having your own business and yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like maybe that generation, even for me, sometimes because it is stressful. Like you say, you work less, but I guess the mental.
Sometimes, like especially last year when we just opened, the stress is much higher.
Yeah.
Because especially during this year, January and February, when Beijing was very cold, business was extremely slow. So I got a lot of stress, from paying the rent, paying my staff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I get that stress. I have it too. But I also have to say that sometimes I think you never switch off. You know, there's always something to think about. It's not like even when you are on holiday. I don't know how it is for you. Maybe in the past when I was employed, I go on holiday, I really switch off completely, right? There's someone taking care of what you do. But now it's never.
It's actually not 24 hour. I have to stay switched on.
Okay, that's
Because
good that you
now
manage.
I have trained my manager Qian pretty well.
Yeah, I see.
And she can take care of like 80% of the daily operation. So even though I take monthly trips to somewhere outside Beijing, the bar is still well managed by her and my chef.
You have a good team.
Yeah. And also I arrange events even though I'm away from Beijing. And my staff are used to this. So they know what to take care of, and every week or every day we can talk about things or like things to take care of. When I'm outside of Beijing, I can stay switched off, say 60% of the time.
Okay.
60 to 80.
I think that's a good achievement.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually achieved when the goal I set for this bar. So I had 2 goals. The first one is to have more free time for myself. And the second one is to set a flagship store in Beijing.
Okay.
That would attract future cooperations with other chefs or cafe or bakery.
That's nice, I think.
Yeah.
How is that going? You did something like that, like some collaboration or
Yes,
something.
we do a lot of events, especially in like off-peak seasons. Like for example, next week we are gonna do a master class with Radican, Italian winery, which is a very famous winery. And by the way, you should come. It's so cheap. I'm quite happy that what we have done here has attracted such a winery. The winemaker himself will also visit here. And also we do collaborations with, for example, Malos. Malos, the chef Simone, she's from Australia. And he's her like a window counter, sort of like a food snack business. It's also in the Hutong neighborhood.
Okay, I have to go see them.
Yeah. So I'm happy to collaborate with people around this neighborhood, and also a lot of musicians, DJs.
Yeah.
We do a lot of DJ events. And also for next month, our 1-year anniversary. As our tradition, it has to have good music. So we're gonna invite at least 2 DJs to play vinyl.
It's good. I feel like also between, especially small places, people are happy to kind of collaborate. No, it's rather than competing, teaming up.
Yeah.
I always have, even for designers, which we always have to bid for things. There's competition, but I always feel like working together is much more. Also, because you understand the struggles and the journey you're on.
And for small businesses, like, it's much easier to just speak to the founders directly.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
If it's corporate, it feels like a different reality.
Yeah.
Somehow so distant.
And sometimes an event can come up, like, for example, if you visit us for dinner, and we might be discussing an event for like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, very fast. Yeah, which is also refreshing. Like, let's just do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see. But what about the future for you? Like, do you have a plan or a
I
dream
do.
for it? Yeah, you do. Okay.
So the first thing
okay,
is...
sounds really official.
No. The reality is, when I said my second goal was to set a flagship store,
Right.
was because when I know the rent of this place, I instantly know that I couldn't make a lot of profit out of this place. So my goal for next year is to see if I can negotiate a lower rent.
Okay.
Otherwise, I might collaborate with some other, say, wine distributors or find other investors to find another location.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Maybe. And if I do get the rent lower, I will also bring in another partner with me to make my wine more competitive.
Okay.
Because right now I'm approaching, say, many different wine distributors, and I think with this location, I have a lot of foreign tourists coming to the bar.
Okay.
I will bring more Chinese wine to the wine selection. So that's my goal next year. A bit more Chinese wine.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't even know there was Chinese wine. Actually, my family makes wine in Italy. But I am not. I don't know anything about it, so I think I will come to your masterclass. But it's nice that you put attention to Chinese wine, I guess.
Yeah, now on our daily wine selection, we have about 2 to 3 wines from China.
Okay.
Like the bottle I put here. These 2 are from Ningxia, Beijing, and this one is from Inner Mongolia.
Oh, that's really
surprisingly good and not expensive. So I think Chinese wine are growing very fast.
Foreign tourists would be really attracted to this, right?
Some of them are surprised because I wouldn't tell them like this is from China, but I would tell them, oh, this is very interesting. For example, they try it and they will be like, oh, this is good. And then I will tell them, oh, this is actually from China.
Okay.
The grapes are growing in Shangri-La, something like that.
But the place definitely is a big. Were you looking,
Because
or you just
from the
randomly
design,
found, or
from the design and from how I set up the menu, they will know. Okay, if I come inside, there will be a staff who can speak English.
Yes, true.
Yeah, and that's quite important for tourists.
Absolutely. But what about this place? Were you just looking for a place around this area, or you just randomly found it, or?
I have a very specific street.
Okay.
Like I only wanted Jiaodaokou Nandagie, so this street.
Okay, that's very specific. Yeah.
Very, very specific. The reason is because we used to hang out in Gulou Dongdajie or Beilou Guxiang, so the hutong in that area.
Yeah.
But that place has become more and more commercial, and also because of the rising rent, it sort of pushed a lot of interesting businesses out of that district, that small area. And so we figured there will be more interesting bars or shops opened in this street, even though it's you will see more traditional Chinese restaurant now.
Yeah.
But I do see more like bistro bars,
Yes.
restaurants. and
agree.
especially to the north of this street,安定门内大街,
Yeah.
you already see a lot of bars.
That's true.
Yeah. So
There's a
we
few.
had this like expectation that in say 2 or 3 years, the street will become more interesting.
Gentrification, right?
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
And also I had a specific size in mind.
Okay.
I don't want a big bar. I want something small, around like 40 or 50 square meter. So my bar is around 40 square meter. So very small. But the reason why I want to keep it small is because, say for example, different customers who don't know each other enter the bar,
Yeah.
and they might be speaking to their friends. And slowly they might be speaking to the table next to them.
Yeah, it's true.
And I often see like people meeting new friends in my bar.
Okay.
Yeah, I want this like cozy or like very limited social distancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's what you wanted. But is it also a disadvantage sometimes? Like
Yeah.
for the turnover or?
For the turnover, it's okay. But for some from Chinese customers, because it's not their typical Western restaurant setup.
Right.
For traditional, say Italian restaurant in Beijing, more space between each table and a much bigger table with nice like plates, glasses, tableware.
I see.
But we wanted everything to be small,
Okay.
tiny, and we actually specifically selected that wine glass
Okay.
because it's shorter than
Oh, I
other
see.
wine glasses, but still very thin and like nice.
So did you do the design yourself?
We hired a designer,
Okay.
but a lot of the small stuff you see comes from me.
Okay.
Like the paintings over there, they are actually from a Polish artist in Shanghai,
Okay.
and she's quite good at capturing figures of women. So when I open this bar, I want to have a lot of like sexy women figure,
Okay.
and that's why I selected those 2 paintings. And you will see like those on the table, and also
Yeah.
the small candle
Yeah, I
thing.
see them. Yeah.
And also the big one there. Yeah.
So like the decoration style is.
Yeah.
But-
But we did hire a designer to do the overall design,
Okay.
how we should like
The
do
layout.
the kitchen.
The kitchen window is really nice actually.
Yeah, it's very small but fully equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
And how we should do the wine cellar.
Yeah, it's very nice. Also the doors to the kitchen. Maybe this is the first time I see them actually.
Yeah, the doors is like a slide door, wooden slide door with vinyl collections.
I see. And then also the chair. It has a bit of this
Antique
homey
look.
vintage. Yeah. Vintage homey look. I
Yeah.
think it's.
And I did the painting in this bar myself.
Really? Okay.
I would say 60% of the painting I did with another painter. So another funny thing is, one of my customer actually texted me on social media and asked me, "Oh, can you refer me your painter? Because I really like the walls." And I was like, "Oh,
It's me."
it's me."
What about the name?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm never sure if it's uhu or aha.
Well, after I opened, I realized my French or Italian customers wouldn't pronounce this properly. But for English, it's aha. And in English, we use aha a lot as a phrase, usually meaning like something you approve, or there's a phrase called aha moment. So I think when I came up with the name was my aha moment.
Okay.
It was like before I sleep, And I want this name to represent something, like for example, when you are craving for a proper pasta or a nice glass of wine, when you finally found it, and that will be your aha moment.
Okay. Okay, that's a nice. But for sure, it works because it's a very peculiar name, so people also remember because of that. I didn't ask. One of our questions would be, what is that you are more proud of or more happy about? I think you have a lot. You just said
Yeah, see.
But I guess you have a lot of that, no?
Definitely. I think the first one was my opening event last year. You were also here?
Yeah, I was here. Yeah.
And I remember you said, like, this is something we are missing in the Hutong.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first moment because I think it was a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and we didn't expect it would be so crowded, and people really had fun. Even though it was cold, nobody stayed inside the bar. Even though the speakers, the DJs were inside, everybody was standing on the street. And I was like speaking to my chef, like, oh, this is exactly how we wanted this place to be. Another thing was this year we just did a tour, like taking a lot of people to Chinese winery.
Okay.
And we did a Chinese winery party, also with music, good food. And wine from a Chinese wine. That was also quite an experience for me.
Yeah, you're also promoting the Chinese wine, right? It's through your business. Yeah. But that party, I remember, because as you said, Beiloukoushan, for example, there were many bars, but something changed. They have a lot of, like, they cannot have people outside anymore.
Yeah.
And then there's always car passing by, and they don't have this wide pavement you have. So I feel like people want to have this. You remember how it is to leave work and just wanting that moment.
Just want a glass of drink and talk to people and relax.
Yeah. So would you go back to your old life job now, or no?
No, I think once you enter F&B, I sort of realized I'm very good at hospitality stuff. I'm good at servicing. I'm good at connecting people in a short period of time. And also, even though I might not be running a bar, I might do something else, like organizing events.
Yeah.
That's fun for me. I like project management.
Okay. Yeah, it's somehow this is project management actually.
Yeah. And I'm good at budgeting.
That's good. Maybe I'm not very good at it.
I want to do more interesting events, not just like a design, like a discussion or like a gathering. I might even do some events people might not think of. Like a part-time girl of my previous staff, she has now started her own business as a fortune teller who reads zodiac signs, like on a weekday nights for girls who want to visit, who can have a 20-minute session with her.
That's really
interesting, right?
No, I get it. And also we do it mostly, of course you do it for the business, but the connection is after the first event, someone teamed up and for doing a competition together. That makes me happy, that we made that happen. And so if you help, and ultimately I hope it gets back for the business also. So it's really nice. And also what I always say is like, it's nice to steal energy because all these people have the energy to do something, like to fight and make the business survive or do something different. So I feel like I get a lot of energy when I see these people. There's always this thing that you are as successful as the people around you are. So I feel like it's good to surround yourself with similar like-minded people, so I think it's cool. I will take that offer.
I like really to meet new people for sure.
Because we talk about communities and you work with other company, small businesses here. What about your customer? You said you have quite a
I have say about 20% of my customers are regulars,
Okay.
which is quite important for us because we don't do a lot of Chinese social media. We do some on Instagram, but most of our customers, especially customers who appreciate wine, are referred by friends
Right.
or our regulars. That actually reduces a lot of the marketing cost, and word of mouth is definitely more important.
Yes, I
Yeah.
completely agree. Yeah.
And then also it reflects that we are doing something correct for
Right.
them to come back.
Yes.
Yeah. We do some things. We do small surprises
Okay.
to keep,
Yeah.
keep them coming back.
Yeah,
Like for
that's true.
example, we would tell our regulars that, hey, tomorrow our chef is doing a special lamb stew. Just come. We won't charge you anything.
That's
Or sometimes if I bring back a special bottle from Melbourne, I will share it with my regulars or my friends. Or sometimes if we do a special events with limited seats, I will send to my regulars first to see if they want to book it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I am in that group.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
it's
also the coffee was purchased by a regular
Oh,
as
really?
a gift. Yeah,
That's very nice. Yeah, I haven't been here in a while actually. We have to come back soon for our
yeah.
drink.
Come for brunch or during the weekdays.
Yes. during the
Weekends we
weekdays.
get a bit too busy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool.